friend of mine had told me to stop keeping so many edits. I have so much material and so many videos that I need to edit and do all these things too to present. But see, I'm so careful about the way that I share information because I know that there is some difficulty in comprehending my perspective. And there's a reason for that. The reason we live in a society where we have had overexposure to white-centered consciousness, something that I relate to as white brain. And we have had overexposure to white brain. And I've dealt with being misunderstood, just the wrong impression because of people's limited capacity to comprehend what I'm saying. Not mind you, I'm speaking plain and simple English. I teach 9 communications courses. I'm very clear about the various types of barriers to effective communication. So I deal with those barriers, but there's one barrier that I cannot change, and that is white brain. People are going to reject certain types of information because of their belief system. It doesn't matter how it's explained, how much of a diagram, how much I am a living example, a living proof that this works. But people will refuse to receive that information. So I've just been sitting on videos and clips and memes and different things that I've created because I want to be able to situate this information where it lands. And that has been my apprehension. And I'm talking about, this has gone on for some years now. I've put out small little pieces of things. Mostly you see a lot of me living this work, which looks like what everybody else is doing, taking pictures of themselves, eating and food and coming and going. But what you're really seeing is you're seeing me manage my mental health. You're seeing me apply African-centered life skills to my lived experience by having relationships with other human spirits that are healthy. Not just everybody in pictures always smile. That's not it. There is an energy that shows up when myself and my husband are in spaces and places with people. There is an energy that's present. And what you're witnessing is the lived commitment to being a fully functional and unapologetic African. And I know that comes across to some people, they receive it as a conviction. Because if you're living a life as a fully functional and reanimated African, if that's the right way to do it, then I must be doing it wrong. First of all, I never said that. And if that's your audit of your own self, because we should always be doing self-reflection, then maybe there's something you need to touch up on. I'm just saying, because the creation of who we are being was done through research. And it was done through understanding that white brain can never inform what's in the best interest of the African. If it does, it's in reverse. Whatever they tell you to do the opposite. Whatever the culture is, do the opposite. Whatever the religion or the theory or the ideology is, do the opposite, because that's going to help you as an African. Because the things that are in the system, if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything you think you know will only confuse you. And that's what I've been dealing with, and that is what has laid so heavy on my heart, is I know that there's such a great need for a real trek to becoming a fully functional reanimated African, yet I'm not so sure that it can be received. Because me just living the life as a fully functional reanimated African, other African people, including others and brothers and whoever else, have created a very tumultuous journey for me. And I haven't even begun to get started. Not in any major way. You're seeing very small pieces of a very, very larger, expansive project. And all these pieces come together to create, your divine birthright. Unfortunately, we've been so fragmented, and we've gotten so far from our language, our culture, our people, our knowledge of self, that it requires a very extensive journey and trek to rebuild that consciousness. And in the process of rebuilding that consciousness are some dots in between. And part of that is reprogramming NLP, neurological programming, for the subconscious brain. Because this is why, no matter how I say it, what I say, how I explain it, African people and other people are still hearing what they want to hear. It is because of NLP, the neurological programming that is within your this is the science of it. And this is why it sticks. And in order to retrain your neurological programming, you have to rewrite that program. You have to go in there, honestly, not with feelings, because so many of us, we are attached to our feelings, not your feelings, because that was a deception. That was a deception to manipulate your impulse control. If your foundation in your stimuli, then you won't get to the actual critical analysis that is specifically mathematics. 1 + 1 is 2. There is a formula. You got to get to the formula. In order to get to the formula, get past your feelings. Get past your uncomfortable and get to the formula, because there is a science as to how you got like that. And there is a science for how you to unget like that. Decolonize your African mind. Humanity as a whole, to become different and to make humanity the paramount goal for everyone to preserve humanity is going to require you to set aside those feelings and get to the formula. So family, this is what I've been challenged with. If you have any feedback, please drop the comments below. And my question, I guess, is how would you receive this information? I need to tell you that you're doing some things wrong. Period. As an African, I'm taking the position as auntie, right? I've evolved into the place of wisdom and status on this journey, and a place of knowing that it comes of personal experience, experiential learning, formal learning, and education, and actually being submersed in this experience with our people. So much so that some of it has caused me great detriment, like great detriment to my professional career, to my personal being, to my physical being. It has caused me great detriment trying to build into this work. Without the support and without the protection in order to actually, this is education. This is not war and fighting and all those things. This is literally just education. And people are so agitated. White brain reflexively rejects this to such a point, as they said in the, The Matrix? Most people are so inert, so hopelessly dependent upon the system that they will fight to protect it. It is a science that got you like that. It is a science that makes you literally fight tooth and nail for something that is wrong, immoral. It is unconscionable the level of some of our social and casual behaviors are in our society. They go completely against anything that could be healthy for a human community, civil community, completely contrary. So I need to be able to tell you, I need to be able to source to you a growth process, because I am in this world experiencing these things. And my commitment to this work is, if this work gets out and people make the choice with their free will, because you're also being manipulated through your free will, weakened will, where you can drink, and drinking can kill your liver, and drinking can do this and that to them, and you drinking can commit all of the things. You can choose to do all these bad things because it's your free will. But in your free will, use your free will to do the good and to support the community and to create protection and support and community and unity, because we can't get there if we don't do these dots in between. I'm not here for hope. I'm not here for the kumbaya and the cutesy and the soft. I'm not, because that's not my reality. My reality has been dealing consistently with me burrowing through circumstances of opposition because of white brain in African people, the brother man. That's what I've been dealing with. And there's some very committed people at very various levels of their academics and their career and their different things. And they're very committed to this. They're very committed to protecting the system. That is their whole reality. I'm here to say to you, African, there is more than that. There is a capacity, but we got to get to the capacity to come to even envision a different reality. A different reality without the bells and whistles and clap it ups and ribbons and the confusion that white brain has put onto African people in our crisis management and our, getting lost in trauma. We assimilated. But when our ancestors assimilated, they only did it as a facade. They didn't take it into their spirit. We as a community today have taken in white brain into our basic functions, and it is now affecting our behavior. It is affecting our community behavior. We are losing it. We have to reconstruct that mind, root out those things, and get to reconstructing this African mind, so that we can heal ourselves in a way that is helpful to African people, because African people need something very specifically different than the one white brain standard of education and social norms and behaviors that is a part of this society. We need something different from that. This has never worked for us. And it's very sad that we have people within our community who are supposed to be in positions of authority who continue to usher people along in this madness, because that's what it is. This is why I asked back in 2018, I made a video, you can check it out on my YouTube, where I asked you, are you an agent of the Matrix? Are you an agent of the Matrix? Even if you think you do, it makes some sense, but it doesn't make African sense. And if it doesn't make good African sense, then it's nonsense. African here, we always stand for the ascending of the African soul and the opening of the African spirit. Sawubona African, and namaste. The divine in me honors and respects the divine in you. I'm your sister Nefera, and I'm here. Thank you for coming into the Keys of Soul Powerhouse. Please be with me and share. I mean, like literally share. Like offer some substance, process this a little bit, and provide me some feedback. I'd really appreciate that. So thank you for receiving from me. See you next time.